I'm Catherine Dow. It's Monday, July 14th. Today, better safe than sorry.
We've had good weather there for firefighting in recent days, and we've been able to make some really good progress.
As firefighters make headway on Manitoba wildfires, cots are rolling out at various Winnipeg centers. Also today, choking up.
It's so thick that you can taste it on your tongue.
How wildfire smoke is affecting some of the most vulnerable. And coming to fruition.
It's such a shame that he wasn't here to see it come to fruition.
A late city councillor's dream of food accessibility comes true in a Winnipeg neighborhood. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Marilee is away. Despite progress battling northern Manitoba wildfires, the province is still preparing for the worst and is setting up thousands of cots for more potential evacuations. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew posted this video on social media. That's Kinew rolling up his sleeves and setting up cots at the RBC Convention Centre in downtown Winnipeg, one of several buildings that the province can turn to into an evacuation site under its state of emergency powers. Joining me now live is CTV's John Hendricks. So, John, will all those cots be needed?
Well, Catherine, it's really hard to say. Today, fire officials updated the wildfire situation, and there's good news and bad news. The bad news is there's still more than 120 active fires burning in Manitoba today, with 12,000 people forced from their homes in 8 communities.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
One of those communities is Garden Hill. The only people left there are essential personnel. The rest flew out with the help of the Canadian Armed Forces. Fire officials say thick smoke and intense flames are making it difficult to fight. Now, in other areas like Leaf Rapids, Lynn Lake, and Thompson, some rain over the weekend has helped firefighting efforts.
We've had some pretty decent weather to assist us in the firefighting effort, so we're quite confident in the protections that we put in place between the fire and the city of Thompson. Of course, there's always an unknown. The weather can create different situations, but based on what we've done to date, we're feeling pretty good about where we're at with Thompson right now.
So, John, if Thompson isn't in danger, why then is the province preparing all those extra spaces?
Well, as you heard, Catherine, Kristen Hayward of Manitoba Wildfire Services says wildfires are difficult to predict. Shifts in the weather can cause sudden changes in a fire's direction. Now, in a worst-case scenario, and say Thompson was forced to evacuate, it would mean more than 10,000 people would be fleeing to Winnipeg at a moment's notice. So, the province is using its state of emergency powers to prepare the following spaces. Billy Mosienko Arena and Portage Curling Club both have 250 spaces. Eric Coy Arena can take 280 evacuees. The largest space, the RBC Convention Centre in downtown Winnipeg, has the capacity for 4,000 cots. And the Red River X grounds could also hold around 450. Now, at the moment, the Leela Soccer Complex and the Rex Complex at the University of Winnipeg are the only 2 evacuation centers. With the additional locations that I just mentioned, there would be another 7,000 potential spaces for Manitoba wildfire evacuees. But of course, whether or not they get used is a question that remains unanswered.
All right, thanks for this, John. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister addressed the wildfire fight on social media, saying in part, quote, "My ongoing gratitude to all the first responders on the front lines of this crisis," adding the federal government is working with First Nations and across orders of government to fight these devastating fires and to keep people safe. And the federal emergency management minister says Ottawa has approved Manitoba's request for assistance and will send humanitarian workforce support to help with evacuations and shelters. That includes workers to help out in shelters, provide meals, psychosocial and mental health support, and First Nations. Meanwhile, MKO Grand Chief Garrison Settee says he welcomes the federal government's help, but says Ottawa's response is a bit late and that more resources need to be dedicated to prevention.
They've responded in a way that is probably a little bit late now, but we welcome that support, and not to be critical, but these fires have been going on for the last month and a half, and that's when we needed the help from the very beginning, because you have to be very proactive. We have to be very proactive. If we do not proactive, then the situation will be the way it is now.
Meanwhile, officials are monitoring around 60 blazes in northwestern Ontario. Almost a quarter of them are considered out of control, and evacuation plans are being rolled out in 2 First Nations, with residents heading to Toronto and Mississauga. The Manitoba Métis Federation is once again collecting donations for wildfire evacuees, and they need your help to keep its shelves stocked.
We are going through donations like hotcakes.
MMF has set up an evacuation and drop-in center for all evacuees. Along with meals, an internet cafe, and a kids area, it has a donations area for evacuees to shop for things they're missing. But because of demand, it's running out of essential products, especially hygiene items, all sizes of men's clothing, and baby needs, including strollers.
We know that there are another 700 people arriving today from the Garden Hill area, and there are several other communities that are looking to evacuate in the coming days. So this is a high demand, and I would say it's higher demand than it was during our first wave at this point.
And you can drop off items at the donation center on Ray Marius Road or at the evacuation center on McGregor Street. Winnipeg police had to talk a suspect out of a retention pond after an assault incident over the weekend. It happened at the University of Manitoba's track and field stadium on Saturday afternoon. Police say a man was acting aggressively in the stadium's viewing stands. Campus security tried to get him to leave, but the man wouldn't cooperate. Police say he threatened security guards and a coach with a rock and a homemade pointed weapon. When officers arrived, they found the suspect hiding in a nearby retention pond, and he refused to come out. After about an hour of trying to communicate with the suspect, police took him into custody. A 45-year-old man now faces weapons and assault charges. No one was hurt. And a 37-year-old man is dead following a shooting in the Interlake. RCMP were called to a residence in Toulon last night. They found a man who had been shot and rushed him to hospital, but he died. Mounties in the area spotted a vehicle believed to have been involved in the shooting and tried to pull it over. A brief chase ensued, which ended with the vehicle holed up in a cornfield. Police surrounded the field and eventually arrested a 24-year-old man. The suspect is now in custody, and RCMP say they aren't looking for any more suspects. The chief medical examiner has called for an inquest into the death of a First Nations inmate. William Amo died following a standoff at the Headingley Correctional Center in 2021. The 45-year-old died 7 days after a confrontation during which he was put into a restraint chair and ultimately suffered cardiac arrest. A corrections officer was found not guilty of criminal negligence causing death and failing to provide the necessities of life. The inquest will look at the circumstances of his death and what, if anything, can be done to prevent something similar in the future. In an email statement, a lawyer for the Amo family says it's unclear why the inquest is happening 9 months after the criminal case appeal window closed, but says they look forward to it starting as soon as possible. And the inquest into Amo's death is only one of 7 the chief medical examiner announced today. 5 are related to the hanging deaths of inmates at Stony Mountain Institution in 2020. The other is an accidental overdose at the facility in 2021. A 53-year-old man is dead after the ATV he was riding rolled over and pinned him underwater. RCMP were called to the scene Saturday on the Ebb and Flow First Nation. Officers and EMS found the ATV rolled over in a creek. The man was pinned underneath and he was pronounced dead at the scene. RCMP say it appears the ATV rolled going over a steep slope. Meanwhile, a 32-year-old from Brandon drowned while swimming in Sandy Lake, south of Riding Mountain Provincial Park. It happened Saturday night. RCMP say the man was swimming with 3 others when he went missing. He was found shortly after in the water and brought to a nearby dock, but it was too late. Yellowhead RCMP continue to investigate. Manitoba's Families and Accessibility Minister Nahani Fontaine is committing her team to training in response to criticism over her comments during a speech a few weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago, I used language that caused harm to the deaf and hard of hearing community. That moment doesn't reflect how I feel about deaf and hard of hearing Manitobans, ASL interpreters, or accessibility as a whole. I appreciate ASL is more than just language. It's deeply connected to deaf culture and community.
Fontaine was caught on camera complaining about sharing the stage with an ASL interpreter. The hot mic moment was captured by APTN National News after Fontaine had delivered a speech at a grad ceremony. Fontaine had been accompanied on stage by an ASL interpreter as she delivered the speech. In a social media post this past weekend, Fontaine apologized again for her remarks and promised her team will undergo deaf culture training and take other measures to enhance understanding and inclusion. A downtown Winnipeg restaurant was forced to close temporarily after a fire. Commonwealth is a restaurant at the corner of McDermott Avenue and Main Street. The restaurant's managing partner posted on social media Thursday saying someone broke a window with bricks and started a fire inside. The fire set off the sprinkler system, causing additional damage. The post also said the restaurant could remain closed for a few weeks, if not months. A full assessment of the damage is expected this week. CTV's Daniel Halmerson joins us with a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. Daniel, not a rain person myself, but I was very happy to be starting off the week with rain. We sure need it.
Oh. Yeah, a little bit of rain. I'm coughing a little bit because there is some lingering smoke in the air still. But yeah, it's been sprinkling on and off here in Winnipeg today and through most of the south. You can see on the satellite, it's been moving pretty steady from the southwest onward throughout most of the day. Now, speaking of wildfire smoke, there are still a couple air quality statements in effect. Right now, down in the southeast, Pinawa, Lac du Bonnet, up towards Victoria Beach, and of course, Nopaming Provincial Park, all under an air quality statement this evening, as well as in the area around Norway House and Cross Lake. Now, that's not to say the rest of the province isn't still seeing some local smoke lingering in the air. I'll tell you when we could expect to see that widespread smoke move back into parts in the south. Right now, though, 18 degrees under cloudy and drizzly skies. The wind out of the south-southwest at 12 kilometers per hour. The pressure's rising, the humidity sitting at 89%.
The Bathfitter Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
And a lookout on McPhillips Street. Pretty light traffic as you see it right now. A little bit of rain on those roads. Make sure you're taking those necessary precautions if you're heading through.
We have some residents that were literally vomiting because their lungs couldn't handle the smoke.
How wildfire smoke is affecting some of the most vulnerable Manitobans. That story is coming up after the break.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
The Winnipeg Jets have signed a contract extension for their fourth-line center. Morgan Barron has signed a 2-year contract with the Jets. The 26-year-old recorded 15 points with the Jets last year. The Halifax native has become a reliable penalty killer since joining the Jets in 2022. The contract is worth $3.7 million. Intense smoke from Manitoba wildfires is causing problems for many and forcing the vulnerable to leave their homes. CTV's Alex Carpra shows you the steps being taken to preserve their health.
This is the one that keeps me alive.
Kathy Ross always has her puffer with her. She says she's been heavily relying on it for the last 2 months due to the wildfires.
I have asthma and COPD, and it makes it worse, like if there's smoke around me.
Ross is from Pimicikamak Cree Nation in northern Manitoba. She says the smoke in the community has been so bad and started seeping into her house.
I went into panic mode because of my lungs, so of course I ran out instinctively. And then I went into a coughing fit, and my puffers couldn't even help.
She was able to flee the smoke and arrived in Winnipeg earlier this week, but many are still stuck in their communities.
The smoke has been really thick. It's so thick that you can taste it on your tongue.
Nisachawayasa Cree Nation has evacuated its nursing home. Jesse Horodecki, who works there, says the situation was very hard on the residents.
We have some residents that were literally vomiting because their lungs couldn't handle the smoke that's in the building.
And wildfire smoke can have long-term effects as well.
So you're more likely to develop asthma, especially if it's kids or pregnant people who are being exposed to this.
As for Ross, she is happy to be away from the smoke, but is sad not to be home.
The smoke did affect me, and I'm trying to make the best of the situation here.
Ross is one of the around 6,600 people out of their homes because of the raging wildfires, all hoping the situation gets better and they can soon breathe a sigh of relief. Alex Carper, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg's mayor gives a folk fest artist the key to the city. That and more entertainment news coming up in the Spotlight.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting R&B legends TLC.
And Daniel Halverson has your spotlight today. And an artist the Folk Fest had over the weekend gets the city's highest honor.
Legendary Canadian folk music icon Bruce Cockburn has been officially honored by the City of Winnipeg. Cockburn, who performed at the first Winnipeg Folk Festival and at the 50th edition, which wrapped up yesterday, has been given the key to the city. The honor was presented at Folk Fest Saturday by Mayor Scott Gillingham. The key to the city recognizes the significant contributions of dignitaries visiting the city.
And seems like there are some pretty avid anime fans in Winnipeg.
That's right, and nothing could keep them from attending Icon over the weekend. Icon 2025 kicked off on Friday night and continued throughout the weekend at the RBC Convention Center. The event brought fans of anime, video games, and Japanese culture together. Cosplay contests, voice actor panels, dance workshops, and marketplaces of local artists and vendors were there. Compared to last year, it appears to be only growing.
I think it's great. I feel like it's doubled in size since we came last year, but there was no punishment last year, but I feel like it's doubled in size since last year. So it's growing every year, which is nice to see.
This family-friendly event started back in 2001 at the University of Manitoba and has grown into one of the biggest fan events in Western Canada. According to the organizers, the last in-person Icon drew more than 10,000 attendees.
Some really impressive cosplaying there. Meanwhile, Brad Pitt is speeding back into the Hollywood limelight.
His latest movie is racing to the #1 spot.
Doesn't take orders, goes his own way, huh? A lone wolf.
F1 has officially knocked Napoleon off as Apple's highest grossing film. The Formula One movie has generated $293 million at the global box office. It even bumps Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon.
All right, thanks for this, Daniel.
You can kick off your week with American Ninja Warrior at 7 and at 9 catch The Rookie. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, after a relatively warm weekend here in the south, clouds, cool weather, a little bit of rain, it's been that kind of Monday. As I mentioned earlier, air quality statements are in effect for parts of the province in the southeast as well as around Norway House, though there is local smoke in the air despite where you are right now. Taking a look at the futurecast, rain's going to continue throughout the evening. We've seen it off and on here in downtown Winnipeg. It's mainly been in the southwest, but it is moving through. That's around 10 tonight. Could expect some more as we move into Tuesday morning, but it is expected to clear here in Winnipeg and most of the province by late tomorrow morning into the afternoon. Maybe a stray shower here or there, but a relatively clear Tuesday, though, as you'll see in a couple seconds, the winds are going to pick up. That's going to continue right into Wednesday, mainly clear skies midweek. Now, tonight here in Winnipeg, down to 14 chances showers. The wind shifting a little bit out of the southeast at 15 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow, high of 21, mix of sun and cloud by midday, but those winds are really going to pick up out of the north from 30 gusting up to 50. That's when we could see some of that smoke move back into southern parts of the province. Taking a look the rest of the week, Wednesday and Thursday, mainly sunnies with highs at 22 and 23. Showers are likely Friday. Bad news for Bomber fans, but then the sun's coming back for the weekend with a mix of sun and cloud on both Saturday and Sunday, highs at 25 and 26. Our first weather pick of the day comes out from Jamie out at Pelican Lake. There's a double rainbow there for you folks. And our second one, this was taken by the Seine River. That's an American mink sent in by Paulette. You can keep those weather photos coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Daniel. Access to groceries in Elmwood has become a little easier. Morris Place Community Center on Monroe Avenue launched a new grocery access program Saturday. The program aims to lower the cost and increase food accessibility. It offers pantry staples like soup, cereal, canned goods, and pasta sauce. The project was inspired by the late City Councillor Jason Schreier, who passed away suddenly in April.
He was very instrumental in even supplying this program. Jason personally brought a lot of the food into this building that we're selling here today, and it's very unfortunate. It's such a shame that he wasn't here to see it come to fruition.
The program is open to everyone without needing to prove financial need. You can visit on first and third Saturdays of each month from 1 to 4 p.m. Delivery is also available for seniors housing, low-income complexes, and schools. What a legacy, huh?
What a fitting tribute.
Yeah, really nice for Jason Schreier and all who remembered and loved him. Alrighty, that's going to do it for us. Remember, we'll see you back here for CTV News at 6.